Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Standard. Here are the first weekly event of the new Standard post-rotation. Tonight we are brought to you by GameSwap Mason. You can find a wide variety of Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product from throughout the game's history, as well as video games, movies, tabletop supplies, and board games. Plus, just a plethora, just a metric butt ton of table space for you and your buddies to enjoy your favorite classics or discover something new. There is a wide selection of sample board games available.
Yeah, absolutely.
GameSwap Mason is conveniently located on Route 42, which is also known as Reading Road, here in Mason, Ohio, in the northern suburbs of Cincinnati. On the left, we've got Robert Meadows. On the right, we've got Alex Epperhart. Robert is going to be playing 4-color Energy.
Yep.
Made, 2 copies, top 8?
Yes.
At the STG this past weekend. And on the right, we have Merfolk.
Yes, a little bit of a brew.
I looked at that, and I thought to myself, that's a modern deck. If he goes turn 1 Aether Vial, Robert's going to probably be pretty happy. Well, he'd be pretty sad at first for like a second.
Yeah.
And then he'd be real happy.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm expecting to see some, what is the enchantment? Deep Root Waters in this build, the one where it makes the 1/1 hexproof.
Sure, yeah. Your guess is as good as mine.
If I'm playing this deck in Standard, I'm not leaving home without that card.
Okay. I probably wouldn't leave home with the deck, but that's just me. He might prove me wrong, though. He might prove me wrong.
We
in
say
fact,
that?
I hope he does, to be honest.
We say that, and he's going to build up a quick army, and
Right.
Robert's not going to be able to attack through it. He's going to
and I like being wrong in these situations because, now is a time for learning.
Absolutely.
So let's see what's good.
And with this Merfolk deck, I imagine that it's one of the situations where it tends to go wider as opposed to larger. With the cards like Deep Root Waters and things of that nature, it has a lot of small creatures. It has the 1-drop that becomes a 2/2 if you have an island or another Merfolk creature. Of course, no lords per se, as you would see in Modern.
Right.
But it does contain things like the 3-drop gentleman. I cannot remember his name. That makes your guys cost 2 more to target.
Kapala.
Yeah, Kapala.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you've got the 4-drop that puts up that gives your creatures with a counter.
Yeah.
+1/+1. So
absolutely.
that's about as good of a lord as we're going to get.
Yeah.
I think.
As for the way that you would,
there we go. There's Kapala.
There's Kapala. As for the way that you would put 1/1 counters onto your creatures, I'm not exactly sure what Alex has in his deck. There is that 3-drop that when it enters the battlefield, it puts a 1/1 counter on each of 2 target Merfolk.
Right. There's the
there's Metallic Mimic as well.
The new Dryad thing, or the new that used to be in Turbo Xerox, gets +1/+1 whenever you cast a non-creature spell.
Oh yeah, Deep Root Champion. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so I think really that's probably the strongest card in the deck on just a straight power level.
The problem with that is it's whenever you cast a non-creature spell, and you need to have a decent mixture of creatures in this type of deck.
Sure.
So you're probably, I think it loses a lot of its power level in this type of deck, as to where I feel as if its power level would lie in like a rug style deck with like unsummon and burn packages and things of that nature, where it's casting a lot of non-creature spells.
Well, I mean, maybe he's playing on summon.
Yeah, he could be.
And you know what? If he's not playing opt, I'm going to have a conversation with him after this round.
So he is playing the Wayfinder, though. 3-drop that when it enters the battlefield, you explore. He hits a Botanical Sanctum, passes to Robert. Robert already has a large board presence with Rogue Refiner and Long Tusk Cub.
Right, as Teamer Energy is wont to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
The early turns, and the middle turns, and the late turns.
And he's going to continue to bring the beats. Main phase play Whirler Virtuoso, and then he has a Magma Spray.
Yep. And any go wide strategy is going to struggle with a Whirler Virtuoso.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I saw the Glorybringer in Robert's hand. Don't know if he has the 5th land for next turn, but it's just if he does, it's not looking real good for the fish.
I don't believe he does, but he does have a Bristling Hydra.
Okay.
So this type of, this type of start is going to be hard for any deck to, combat.
Indeed.
Looks like he also has a Servant. So.
Yeah, depending on what he wants to do.
Or if he draws a untapped 5th
Right.
land.
Yeah, he's got options.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really one of the things that attracts me to a deck like 4-Color Energy or Teamer Energy is just the number of options that you have available to you at any point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
It is certainly a deck that is looking to curve out, but it also is a deck that offers a lot of play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's very attractive in a deck.
The combination of power level from mid and early to late game with your take Long Tusk Cub as a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Something that's powerful early game, mid game, and late game.
Right.
Okay. And it seems as if he's played the 2/2.
And the blue-green thing.
Yeah.
That does things.
And he's played that as well. The cost.
Yeah, Shapers of Nature.
Shapers of Nature.
Yeah, yep.
Pay 3 and a green, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, or you can pay 2 and a blue and remove a 1/1 counter from a creature you control and draw a card.
Yeah, so we opened my team in the Two-Headed Giant pre-release that I did. We opened a couple of these, and we had some decent Merfolk that looked like there might have been a blue-green deck there.
Yeah.
Our pool was more synergistic with dinosaurs and pirates, but that's a different story. And I looked real hard at that green, that blue-green creature there, and my opinion is that if they were indeed desiring to push Merfolk as a constructed strategy in Standard, that card's activation costs on both abilities needed to be lower.
Yeah, by 1.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. In my opinion, excuse me. In my opinion, I honestly think that the remove a counter could have been 0 mana, remove 2 counters, and would have been far better.
Yeah.
Far, far better. Yeah. So yeah, some fried fish. We just had a fish fry, and it's not even a Friday, and it's not even Lent.
So who would have thought that Glorybringer would still be fantastic?
Me. Yeah, early on when I first started playing Teamer Energy, the thing that attracted me to the deck was Glorybringer. I mean, historically, 4/4 Hasty Dragons or 5/5 Hasty Dragons for 5 mana have been excellent in Standard, and surprise, surprise, that hasn't changed.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's just a removal spell on the body.
Right.
As opposed to Thundermaw Hellkite tapping down your opponent's creatures or Stormbreath Dragon just being pro-white with another unactivated ability. So, don't forget that this and every match you see tonight will be available on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Top Deck Production stream. The Top Deck Productions YouTube channel is the best resource to find some of your favorite matches and most memorable moments from the stream. And you'll see them as we go along between rounds and before the stream even begins.
Yeah, I might pop up on there once or twice.
Yeah, myself as
I
well.
wouldn't say that it's a best of, at least from my end.
Yeah.
Because I tend to lose a lot of those.
As soon as they throw them on camera. But again, that's youtube.com/Top Deck Production stream.
And then while the players are sideboarding, let's remind the folks out there in internet land.
Yeah.
Check us out on social media as well. On the Facebook, the Face Google.
The Face Google.
Right. That's facebook.com/Top Deck Productions. And you'll be able to find out what we're streaming there. It has the streaming schedule.
Yeah.
In addition, check out the YouTube channel again. Check out Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's at Top Deck Prods.
PRODS.
Right. Similar to Cattle Prods, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we do tend to promote cattle prods here at this location.
Magic the Gathering and cattle prods. And then on Instagram as well, at Top Deck Pro is there. And of course, the Twitch channel that you're watching right now, probably pretty hard to miss if you're, listening to my voice right now.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Top Deck Productions. Of course, you can see that right up there in your little URL bar.
Yeah.
And if you follow, you'll be notified when we go live and what you're going to see. And if you really like the content, be sure to mash on that subscribe button. Just jam it.
Yeah.
Just jam it hard like a glory bringer on turn 4. Just jam it right in there. And all proceeds from that kind of stuff go back into improving the quality of the stream.
Yes.
So, this is a not-for-profit organization at this point.
No.
And, I could say we could use at least one better commentator on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Probably the guy talking right now.
Well, actually, I thought they were going to spend the money on voice lessons for us.
Oh.
Or singing lessons.
Singing, yeah. So, we could do everything like a musical.
I'm not the biggest Grease fan.
Yeah, all right. So Alex Wisely, I'm sure, has chosen to be on the play here.
Yeah. And I'm sure there is a curve for this deck where he plays, Kamina Speaker into 2-drop Unblockable into turn 3 Kapala.
Sure.
And there's an aggressive start that a lot of decks would have a hard time dealing with.
Yeah, a lot of decks probably not Teamer Energy, to be honest.
No.
Because they're able to outsize on the ground so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just not... I can't think of much removal that this type of deck would play as well either.
Like Unsummon is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, Unsummon.
Right? Maybe steal some things?
Maybe...
I don't know. I'm at a loss, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I was sold on playing a deck like Merfolk and I was doing my testing and I found that in some of these matchups the post-sideboard games tended to go longer, I would be looking at maybe that 6-mana one-sided upheaval.
River's Rebuke?
Yeah, you got it. That one. I think it's 2 blue and 4 sorcery, return all non-land permanents target player controls to their owner's hand. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Quite honestly, there's just not a lot in these colors to approach.
And the thing is, if you're playing, like, say, if we were talking about blue-black pirates as opposed to green-blue merfolk, you would get, like, the 2-drop or the 3-drop counterspell, air quotes, but it would be the 2-drop. Get the Kite Sail Runner, the gentleman that comes into play, and he brain maggots you.
Freebooter.
Yeah, Freebooter.
Yeah. I think that is a sideboard card at best, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, here we are looking at Merfolk, so
right, exactly. And quite honestly, given that, I think that it's going to take something real special in the next set to bring Merfolk to the forefront of the format to where it can compete with the very tuned, the tried and true shells like Energy, like Mono Red. Blue-White Approach has shown its merit in this format as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those sorts of things. Now that's something that Merfolk would have a bit of an easier time interacting with because negates are an option.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I would probably venture to say that post-side, green-blue Merfolk most definitely has a very good matchup against decks like Blue-White Approach, where it probably does play multiple counter spells.
It should.
Or at least it should, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. So I see another Metallic Mimic in Alex's hand, and if he follows that up next turn with something else ridiculous...
Right. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah,
now
absolutely.
we're talking. This, in my opinion, is standard Merfolk's version of Aether Vial.
Yeah.
I think this is about as close as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now we're playing some Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now all of Alex's folk are entering the battlefield with 2/1/1 counters.
Okay, yeah, and we're in business.
And I do see a deep root Waters in his hand. So he's gonna play that and start casting his Merfolk in there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna get out of
Robert
hand.
is about a cross-country trip behind here.
Yeah. And he's gonna play a Whirler Virtuoso. But
Okay. That's going to do a thing.
it's gonna do something.
Well, with only 5 energy, it's going to do a thing at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he just picked up that magma spray this last turn. Otherwise,
He did.
yeah.
Not the turn prior. So.
Okay. So he was just trying to use all his mana with
I believe so, with the Harness Lightning.
Yeah, that's
fine.
sure. And then save the cheaper removal spell for later.
Yeah.
It gives you more of a probability of being able to double spell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex taking a second to think of his options here. Like I said, he does have the Deep Root Waters, but he also has the 1/1 unblockable, which quickly becomes a 3/3 unblockable.
Yeah.
And
That magma spray is not going to answer it.
no.
Okay, so there's that enchantment we were talking about.
Yep.
Well, you were talking about, and I was just like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I told you I've done a lot of drafting. That's about it.
Which I imagine this card is a pretty good card in draft.
See, Green Blue Merfolk is a deck that
Sucks. I mean, let's just be honest here, right?
It just requires a lot of 2-drops.
Okay, fair.
So, and it's like it has a little bit of evasion, but not a ton. So you really just have to have a really, really good deck for it to be good.
And I think Pirates is in the same situation in Limited as well.
Yeah.
I think you're looking at dinosaurs to set the pace in terms of sizing on the ground. You're looking at vampires to go wide, and you are looking at just like blue flyers.
Yeah.
Backed up with some combat
that's
tricks.
generally what it is. Yeah, these Merfolk decks are just a blue Flyers deck
Sure.
with some
Well,
ground.
Merfolk and Pirates.
Yeah.
I would say that the better Pirates decks are going to be blue-black.
Yeah.
As opposed to black-red.
Yeah. Okay. So Robert, in response to him casting it, has chosen a Magma Spray, the 3/2 Metallic Mimic.
And the token also gets a counter. So, yeah, we would have had quite the combo going there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not sure that Robert has any copies of Sweltering Suns in his sideboard. And, right. And, has the second red source in his hand to cast it if he did.
Yeah.
But at the same time would also decimate his own board. So.
Yeah.
But it looks like Robert is on mono real estate in his hand there.
Yeah.
And those are the games that energy loses.
Yeah.
And I have to say, in my experience with the deck, the vast, vast majority of games that I've lost have been to Flood. The deck is just so good and so maneuverable that I have rarely lost straight-up games.
Yeah. All right. Looks as if Alex is gonna get in there for 2 unblockable, and Robert's gonna hope to draw something here. He drew a Harness Lightning.
Okay. Well, as long as Alex doesn't have another Blossoming Defense.
Well, Alex has no hand, so I think he's
okay. Yeah,
I think he's
right.
good to go on hitting that Metallic Mimic, and going up to 4 energy and getting in there.
I gotta wonder, with something like this, like Merfolk.
Yeah.
Are we in the market for, and is the mana good enough to support the White Desert? This, sacks to plus all your guys for a turn.
Huh.
I mean, we've got Sun Petal Grove in the format. We've got Irrigated Farmland in the format.
Yep.
And is it double white to activate that desert though?
It is double white.
Yeah, that might be a deal breaker.
Yeah. And actually, I was talking with one of my friends earlier today about Anthem effects. And now that Gideon's gone, there's just not a ton of great ones other than that land.
Right.
So
right.
I was talking to him about, of course, the applications of like a black-white vampires deck in Standard. and there's just not a lot out there currently. Chef at Dunes.
Yeah.
That's
double
the land.
white.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. And even then, it's kind of a heavy mana requirement too. You have to tap. You have to have 5 lands out.
Oh, for sure.
So.
For sure. Yeah, and I'm just spitballing here.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. It looks like Robert drew a Glorybringer.
Time for another fish fry. That's making me hungry. Got any vinegar? Put on the fried fish.
Unfortunately, no.
There we go. So, you know, I have to wonder then, what can we do with this Merfolk deck to improve it, right? And I think you're onto something with Anthem effects.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about Vanquisher's Banner here, and I can tell you,
Yeah.
5 mana looks like a lot.
It does.
It does. I played this card in my Pirates deck in that 2-headed giant pre-release.
Yep.
And let me tell you, that card is appropriately costed at 5 mana because that Glimpse of Nature effect and the fact that it's in play from the point that you put it into play for the rest of the game or unless it gets removed, incredibly powerful.
So we've seen card types like this before. We've seen a card like Coat of Arms before in Standard that didn't see any play during its second iteration.
Right. That card did not say draw a card on it, though.
No, and that's just what I was about to bring up. The advantage that you get from that is, you know, twofold. You know, Anthem effect for your guys as well as, you know, card advantage. So, and Coat of Arms, obviously, more powerful in the Anthem department.
Right.
But, you know, no card advantage. So just another 5-mana artifact. And Robert takes this one pretty quickly.
Yep. And Energy showing its prowess at closing out games of Magic. Yet again, fought through the flood.
Yep. So, and...
All right. So I think that's going to do it for round 1 of Wednesday Night Standard here at GameSwap in lovely Mason, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
We will be back. It probably isn't going to be that full 26 minutes that you see there on the timer.
No.
Generally doesn't go that long. Of course, we do have a blue-white approach player here this evening, so I could be wrong. But, yeah, so we'll be back here soon. I am Jason Morgan.
I'm Zachary West.
And we will be back with you shortly.
Yep.
Hang out, folks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.